As a free-to-play, should I pull for Staff of Homa or Constellation 1 for my Hu TAO? That's the question that I, myself, was asking myself about 1 year ago with the Hu TAO and Yelan banners. I've been playing with Hu TAO and Staff of Homa and Constellation 1 for over 1 year at this point, so I'm an expert on this matter and I can answer the question perfectly. As a free-to-play, should you pull for the Staff of Homa or for Constellation 1? Here is the answer. First, you must consider the time you have been playing Genshin Impact. If you have just started playing Genshin Impact, you obviously do not need Staff of Homa or Constellation 1. If you do not have any 5-star characters other than hopefully Hu TAO if you're watching this video, then you shouldn't pull for Staff of Homa or for Constellation 1. Let's look at this graph right here. On the x-axis we have the time you have been playing the game, and on the y-axis we have your account strength. This account strength is not only your Hu TAO team, but also your other teams, such as, for example, a Ganyu team with Freeze or a Tartaglia team. Let's say that in this example, I use Tartaglia and Ganyu and I have 2 teams for both of them. So, at this point in the graph, at this point of playing the game, I pulled Tartaglia. This was a boost for my account, because Tartaglia is a strong DPS, which has a useful team that's free-to-play friendly in Abyss. And here I pulled Kazuha. Now I have a perfect team at my disposal for the Spiral Abyss. This has skyrocketed the value of my account. So, we have arrived at this point in the graph. Afterwards, I pulled for Ganyu, and I got Mona as well, so now I have a functional Freeze team. My account strength is at an all-time high because now I have 2 teams for the Spiral Abyss, that being my Tartaglia international team and my Ganyu Freeze team. Now, what happens to my graph if I pull Hu TAO? Not much really. The graph won't be going up anymore. Why is that? Well, it's simple. Because my Hu TAO team will neither be stronger than my Tartaglia team and be stronger than my Ganyu team. So, I don't really have much use for Hu TAO. Because she isn't stronger than any of my teams, I could use her for fun in the overworld, but since we are talking about account strength, this is irrelevant. Now let's say I have Zhongli and a well-built Xingqiu and maybe even a Yelan and Albedo. Now my Hu TAO team is stronger than my Ganyu team and I can use her in Spiral Abyss. This increases my account value, but let's say that you do not have Zhongli and only have Hu TAO. And you do not have Constellation 1 and do not have the Staff of Homa. Then Hu TAO doesn't really have much value. And this is probably the reason why you are watching this video at this moment. Because you want your Hu TAO to have more value in your account. So, how can you increase your Hu TAO's value? By getting the Staff of Homa or Constellation 1. Or maybe even getting Zhongli. The easy answer would be getting Zhongli, because Zhongli is not only useful in Hu TAO teams but also in other teams as well. Now, for the next example, let's say that I have 3 teams. My Tartaglia rational team, international team I mean, my Ganyu Freeze team and my Hu TAO team with Zhongli and Xingqiu. Now I have 3 usable teams that are all relatively strong. But I haven't really invested that much in any of them. None have any 5-star weapons and could use some improvements. Let's say that I decide to get another DPS character. Maybe Alhaitham. Let's say that I get Alhaitham. This will not increase the value of my account and not increase the strength of my account, because another DPS character just simply won't do it anymore. You already have strong teams on your account, and if you want to strengthen your account, you want to focus on strengthening these teams. So the most important investment would be getting a 5-star character for these teams. So for my Hu TAO team, I would want to have Zhongli if you do not have him already, or even Yelan, and maybe Albedo. If your team is complete, then now you can start asking yourself the question: should I get a 5-star weapon for my team, or should I get constellations for my character? It depends on the character and on the team, obviously. But in Hu Tao's case, the answer is very simple. You just have to get the Staff of Homa if you can, because Staff of Homa is great on a lot of characters, not only Hu Tao. Even the aforementioned Zhongli can run the Staff of Homa really well and do massive damage and still shield a lot of damage with the Staff of Homa. And Xiangling, one of the strongest characters in the entire game, has perfect synergy with the Staff of Homa. The simple answer would be get Staff of Homa. Now, after this explanation, if you are still wondering whether to get Constellation 1 or Staff of Homa, then maybe you are not a meta player. If you are not a meta player, then maybe you should consider getting Constellation 1, because Constellation 1 is really nice for quality of life. It doesn't really increase Hu Tao's damage by that much if you spend the time to learn jump cancelling, which is difficult but worth it if you do not have Constellation 1. This will not be necessary if you have Constellation 1, because now you can dash cancel, which is a lot more fun and feels better to play. So if you do not care about Spiral Biz and you have the investments, I would say go for Constellation 1, and in any other case, you should get the Staff of Homa. It's really that simple. And if you do not have Zhongli, or if you do not have Kazuha, I would just wait to get one of these. These are worth so much more than a Constellation of Hu Tao, or even a weapon. Now, if this question has been answered, should you pull on this weapon banner? Right now, we have Neuvillette and Hu Tao on the banner. This means that Neuvillette's and Hu Tao's signature weapons will be on the weapon banner. Neuvillette's signature weapon is not really the best for every single Catalyst user, which is unlike Staff of Homa, for example, which is almost great on every single damage-focused polearm user. So it may be risky going for the Staff of Homa. This is true, it is risky, but if you feel like your account is strong enough and getting a simple DPS will not increase your value of your account anymore, then it is worth it to go for it. You mustn't take going for it so lightly, because if you really want to be optimal with your account performance and spending your Primo Gems wisely, then I really recommend having at least 10k Primo Gems before you make a wish on the weapon banner. This way, you can practically guarantee to get the weapon you want. If you get unlucky and have 2 different weapons before getting the Staff of Homa, or any weapon banner item for that matter, it will be really devastating for your account, and you could have had a lot of 5 stars for the same value. So, in conclusion, should you pull for Hu Tao, or should you pull for the weapon banner? If you have Zhongli, and if you think that your account requires some investment more than just getting a new character, then yes, go for it. If you are not damage focused and just want to have a great time in the overworld, then yes, go for Constellation 1, I would say. And if you have less than 10k Primo Gems, then if you want to go for Staff of Homa, stop. Just do not do it. This is a setup for disappointment. You can see it coming from miles away. So, I hope this video helped, and if it did, you should like and subscribe and share, and you should also really watch my other videos and return for the next one. Bye bye!